Good day everyone. Today I'm going to continue the hotlap slash qualifying setup I started making yesterday with the M4, the Bismarck W. I had some issues driving yesterday because I think I've got used to the Aston Martin V12 because I practiced with that car for the SPA event, and yeah, basically nothing handles that bad than that car. So the last few things I made yesterday was putting back the wing to 8, giving maximum rake, but before that I increased the rear rebound. Not this much, but I want the car to dive more, and I'm going to extricate this with even giving some V8 at the rear, so the car will be pushed forward during braking. TC4, max cambers. Let's see.
Green light, go, go, go.
Let's see if I can drive today, unlike yesterday. My issue was yesterday is that I basically hit all the curbs in the car, the front wheels. Although it always needs some time to get used to the size of this car. I don't know how far I can push this car. I just did a few changes with the Aston Martin V8 and could drive a 810 flat in my third lap. But yeah, it's quite hard to push Nordshleife. Actually, it's scary in VR. Okay, it turns more under braking, that's helpful. There's a lot under braking. This won't be as stable setup as they are used to, but that's what you have to pay if you want quality pace. I might even have to decrease the caster a bit because it rotates too much under braking in the slow part. Probably I lift the inner rear wheel too much. I'm a bit more accurate with the wheels now, looks like. It's not as easy test to jump between cars, by the way. I got used to it fairly decently, but still it's always a hard thing. Especially on a hard track like this Nordshleife, where you have to be very precise with your wheel placement due to the high curbs. Like hitting a few curbs really bounces off the car from the line. And I forgot to start my camera fix script. By the way, this much, how much the camera shifts. Wasn't much this time. But usually it's pretty visible. I also changed my hood a bit. I can see it more because for the upcoming endurance race I have to do some of the pit strategy while driving. Like if there's a big change in the weather, I have to change to wet or tire temps, pressures. Also, before I give the car to the other driver, I have to select which driver I will give the wheel to. So I move the hood a bit more forward. It's a bit annoying that I can see it in my perspective, but I try to place it like it's sort of part of the car. Could be worse. Okay. Decent mid-speed rotation there, under braking. The under throttle rotation was great from the get-go with this setup. Overcorrected the snap a bit. I say less caster. And let the car dive much more. And let the front softer even more. Is the script working? So even more rotation for even scarier drive, but the low speed over rotation should be done with the less caster. So thread braking basically is more stable. I have to be careful with the mid-speed rotating the car under braking part. It's like a Porsche now. It's a rear engine BMW. But first I should make a lap for the time delta, because I found that I can always push better times when I have a delta. Caster solved the over rotation issues. Probably solved it a bit too much, because now I have low speed understeer under braking. So high speed oversteer under braking, but the coasting is not as grippy as I would like not rotating as much. So what I will do is give back some of the caster and put the brake bias a bit forward, so that way I decrease the high speed under braking rotation and increase the low speed under braking rotation back. Yes, bro. Thank you, I'm well. It looks like I can drive today, which is useful when I try to make the setup. And how are you? Oops, forgot to break that. Okay, so I said caster is back a bit. More brake bias, like 2 clicks, and I think I will, instead of anti-roll bias, I give more wheel rate at the rear, so that will help with the that will help rotating the car off throttle. Instead of everywhere. So far. The off-throttle rotation is still not as good as I would like, but it's better a bit. But I should really do a proper lap now. Not like that. I like the car, how it drives so far. Handles. A few changes help balancing between mid and high speed, low speed, oversteers. Okay, it's great there. Let's see if the fast left-hander is deadly. No. Stable. Low speed trail braking, great. Just this first gear that really catch me off guard sometimes. I should not use it that much on the Beamer. The first gear is very short in this car and I should only use it in a few occasions. This is where usually cars destabilize under braking, but that was great. Yeah, the BMW is very good on the woodworking, but it's his homeland. But yes, it's super stable due to the size of the car. It has great aero grip at the front and rear, so yeah, good car here. Although I like the Aston V8 more, but I just really like that car everywhere, to be honest. Hence I'm going to drive it in the next season again. I was thinking about going back to the Porsche and driving the Bentley, but I need a competitive car due to the splitting of the Platinum to Diamond and Platinum. And I need all the help against those super fast guys to have at least some chance to keep up with them. Let's not forget to brake now. Great. Felt very good. Oh, okay, it can go off-road without issues. It felt very good under the jump. And I overshot that corner. Never mind. Still need a valid lap for the Delta. Yeah, the Porsche is a very good car, especially for hot lapping and learning, and I usually manage to set it up to not be as deadly as stock and other setups, and under throttle is just super stable. The only issue is under braking, but that is the inherent thing with having the engine so back at the rear, is that it wants to swing around you when you are braking. But I miss the Porsche a lot, because I like the car. Okay, that was a correct time. I miss the Porsche a lot, because it has great sound, character, fun to drive, but the issue with it under racing is that the rear tires are just overstressed due to the weight. So even if you watch out for them, they are just degrading much faster. And we will have a lot of 60-minute races in the season, some 90 minutes, and one zero pit stop strategy is possible. So that's on the table. Like going in, splash and dash 1 liter fuel for mandatory and go. And for that, the Porsche is just not available. And I'm not faster with the Porsche than with the V8. But I'm more consistent with the V8. The most I would have liked to drive is the Bentley, but it's just not competitive even with custom BOP, especially for the tracks. The ERA wasn't chosen, it was sort of voted, sort of randomized. So like they randomized a few tracks, like 6 weeks, 3 track per week, and there was a vote between the randomized tracks. So it's a pick of a random roster. And okay. And basically the tracks were chosen are half of them are the Bentley's worst tracks, like 60 to 70 BOP would needed to be in on the base. My favorite car in the game, well, there's no favorite, there's 3 of them basically. Porsche, AstonV8 and the Bentley, for various reasons. And since last time I drove the Jag, I really like that car too. So if pace and nothing is on the table, then I am happy to drive the Jag, and I'm going to make setups for it because the car is super fun. It just has the right amount of oversteer in slow to mid corners, yet still stable enough to not be scary in the fast ones. If the Bentley would have the pace of the modern cars, I would drive that. No question. Yes, the right steering wheel is hard to get used to. What I found is I try to think about the car, so the placement of the car as wheels. So when I'm trying to place the car precisely somewhere, I just think about where the wheels are and do it that way. And probably that's why I can switch between cars sort of on the fly. Like a few days ago I made quota setups in a row. Back to the part Aspro, I don't like the 296. My biggest issue with the car is it's too eager for inputs. So it's just super twitchy, and the micro slides are annoying. And I just don't like the fact that the car drives itself. So I'm not as in control as I would like to. I really like to rotate the cars with trail braking, so work for it basically. And the 296 just helps too much for my taste. It's a very good car. I approve that, but it's not my taste. Also, usually I not recommend it for beginners, so it's good for medium to high skill drivers when they know how to drive properly, but for beginners due to the car helps too much, I usually not recommend it because they don't learn proper trail braking with it. Because the car helps so much, it just goes around that issue, that trail braking issue. I will read your comment a bit, just need something more relaxed place to pause the game. I never tried to drive in any other camera view in the VR. Probably bonnet cam can work, I just like the immersion. The Nissan is a decent car. It needs proper driving techniques, so that's good in that way, and it's very fast in a few tracks. My biggest issue is with that car is that I cannot set it up to drive on the rear bump stops, which I really like. I have to set it up much more conventionally. And also it's slow on a few tracks. And also the visibility is not great in VR because the rear view mirror is just meh, submediocre. So for racing, that's a big no-no for me. I would race it in like a few times, that's no issue for me, but I would not race it for a whole season, especially competitively. But if you like how the Nissan drives and you are not in VR, that's a good choice. They definitely made it viable in 9.6. It was some airtime. See us, bro. Thanks for joining in for a while. Which car do you drive, Eric? Or cars? If you are weird like me.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
I'm thinking about that I should try to make the car even more rotating off throttle. And since I still have some leeway in the caster, I can increase the brake bias more, so offset the high speed braking instability that way, which I will introduce with the more rotation. And we'll see. But at first I should do a proper lap, which is always a hard to do thing on this green hell. Also check the dampers. They are sort of okay. There's a few weird bumps. Like that. Oh yeah, the Ferrari is much easier to drive. It's true. But as I said, if you want to improve, the M4 is a very good car for them. Although not on the Nordshleife. Yeah. I think on the Nordshleife you just try to cling into your life. Well, I do. But for racing technique on other cars, the M4 is a better teacher than the Ferrari. Have you tried the Aston? That's super fast and fun. Although if you do 8/15s, probably you don't need that much learning. So my point could be not valid. Oops. Oh yeah, that was my issue initial too. I was much slower in the between the two carousels basically, and I learned it eventually. The fastest way to learn it is to drive hotlap mode, which I usually not recommend. And since in hotlap mode you don't have tire degradation and damage, if you screw up anywhere, you can just carry on. I forgot to brake. You can just carry on, and that way you will always reach this sector and have one chance to practice it. Still screw up the gears sometimes with this car. Right, PB. I did 10 flat a few days ago with the Aston, but I did not do I did like 3 or 4 laps. With the BMW, as you can see, it's 15. I drove the track with race setups so far with 40 liters of fuel, so that alone is like 3 seconds off from hot lapping. Also, since those are race setups, I made them more forgiving and more better in the tire life department, so it's a few seconds again. But so far it looks like I can push it to 10 flat. Let's check Motec, because we have some nice data now with this setup. So Motec damper charts are decent. You have a bit too much bump at the rear and a bit too less at the front, slow bump. Otherwise it's quite fine. There's my mouse. And we are eating into the rear travel a lot, but that's not that feelable, or how would I say? So what I will do is, as I said, I give back the caster, increase the brake bias, increase the front bump stop, decrease the rear one, give more rear bump stop range, stiffen it back a bit, and since I cannot do more rake because we are at the maximum already, I stiffen up the V rate so it will dive the car more again. This way we probably have a bit more off throttle, high speed and mid speed and low speed too, rotation. And the other setting just basically countered that in the under throttle and under braking part. According to the LFMBOP secret spreadsheet, you lose 0.78, so almost 8/10 for 10 liters. So it's 800 hundredth for 1 liter basically. And the 30 liters I mentioned is about 2.6 seconds, 2.4 but that's for alien plates. For someone slower it should be a bit more. I would say for normal people it's around a second for 10 liters. And I think I will try TC5. No, first I will stick to TC4 and see how manageable is that. If I give back some bump stop, that could help in the slow part. Not if you drive the curbs too much. It's fine under acceleration, the bump stops let it dive a bit more now. So that part is okay. Off throttle rotation is definitely better. The braking is okay so far, but we will see it more prevalently in the long right-hander after the fast left-hander. The nemesis corner for the V12. Okay, the increased bump stop range did not kill the high-speed rotations, luckily. Probably the rear springs help in that way. Yeah, it's a bit over-rotating, but not unmanageable. think I will decrease the brake bias. One click. Felt the increased rear bottom range a bit there. It was not as rotating out of the corner there, but it was still fine enough. And it was much better here. Oh, I did not deactivate it. I forgot to activate it. Sorry. There you go. Sorry about that. I was hiding my atrocious inputs. Yeah, I thank you for telling me that I forgot it. Oops. I'm making mistakes again. I'm not happy about that. I should increase my pace, not decrease it. This is the part where the BMW really shines. Just so natural here. And I naturally screwed up that corner, not that it would matter. This lap was killed already. Okay, I try to focus on the next lap. I put back the brake bias, by the way. 49.4. Just try to manage it. Strength, stability, like it's super stable. Also, it's really a brawling car due to its size. It's very hard to knock it off track. In ACC regards, ACC has a bit tendency to kill anyone who touches anyone else. Like, it's not too good. It was super fast on the straight. They killed it a bit with the turbo nerf in 9.6. It's mediocre in tire degradation. Also, advantage is it's very good under trail braking, but that is usually a given with front engine cars. The disadvantages are it's huge. That's both an advantage and a disadvantage. So in tight tracks like this, it's a bit harder to place the car. It has a tendency to understeer, especially if you don't rotate it properly with trail braking. And I think it's a bit tail happy out of the corners. Also advantage is it has great front aero, like the car really grips in. Yeah. Well, I usually against trying to do racy things with road cars. For example, I drive a super boring but economic and useful Toyota on the roads. And I'm a very patient and not in a hurry driver, so obeying speed limits, things like that. And I usually say, if you want to race, go to a racetrack or buy VR, which I do. Also, there's no restart in real life if you screw it up. So I forgot, disadvantage of the BMW M4 here is it sounds like a coffee grinder. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Although I did not do many long races with it to feel that to an extent. So yeah, it sounds like a damn coffee grinder. Not as horrible as the Ferrari, the shitbox, but I hate the sound. Top, top 3 best handling car? For me, interior is Lexus, Bentley, then Aston V8. And the Bentley is the same as the Jag, so I think they sound almost the same, or same engine sound. Exterior, I would... I don't know. The V12 Jag is very up in the list, exterior. Other cars are the 99 Cup, maybe, exterior. Is up to the top 3. I don't know the third, no idea. Okay, that's a bit hairy there, but it's fast. And, well, it's a hotlap setup. Should be fast. If someone wants stability, go for the stable setup.
Cut detected.
Mecca, I have headaches from the McLaren. And what's your top 3 cars, sound-wise? Both of you? By the way, the McLaren sounds exciting, but it's not special for me. And as I said, I have had headaches from it sometimes. Sorry for being quiet for a bit, but I concentrated, which helped, definitely. But I have to learn chatting, reading the chat, speaking while driving decently. So. Must that be a I2, free flat? 14 flat.
Brother mate, this is me, your Kosovo.
Okay, I'm happy with that for this car, for this setup. And let's save the setup. Also, it's pretty easy to drive. I mean, it is still a stable setup, it's just a bit less stable and less careful on the tires than the race one. I'm happy with it. Let's do another car, like I don't know. Try to push the AMR more. And finish the AMR Q setup. Let's see.
Green light, go, go, go.
Oh yeah, I need ignition. It always helps with the car. These are not diesels. Oh, it's so great to have a car which has an engine that sounds like an engine, not a coffee grinder. Okay, it is more playful under braking, that's for sure. And under throttle. Okay. Less arrow. Okay. Less on throttle cornering, which I will improve already. Like that. And maybe a bit bump. Q, not UI, thank you. Evolve. It's hard to type in VR. Okay. Such a great car, love it. better there. Rear bump stops helps in coasting too. Much better there. Some bottom out. It's a multiple thing. On one hand, I am an electrical engineer and I always had engineering preferences, like wanted to learn how things work fundamentally, so physics-wise. That definitely helped, like understanding what the forces do with the car. I learned a lot from Aris, and I just also knew a lot from the past, from I don't know where. I read books back then about tuning and stuff, which I never did. I was just interested what differentials, suspension changes, what these things do. And a lot of experimental things, like I try things in the game. Oops, this is not the beamer. Anyways, home driver. We don't have damage. So I did a lot of experiment, like what happens if I do this, do that, etc., etc. That's why some of the parts of my setups are not conventional, because I do them my way, how I learned, experienced, and got around issues. Like basically doing a setup is you should know what you want. So you have to feel the car, have to somewhat know the track, but that's not as important as you was think, because you can still think about corners as corners. And like I feel like I want more high-speed rotation, but don't want to sacrifice my low speed under braking or something. And you have the tools in the setups, and every setting has a plethora of things what it does. So it's always a balancing act. Like if you stiffen up the rear to have rotation, you will have rotation everywhere. So if you want to have just high-speed rotation, you have to touch the arrow more or play with the bump stops, which are not as much engaged in low speed as in the high speed. That's why they can be used for high speed only, exit rotation. And like in the last session, I gave the car more rotation under braking in the fast sections, so fast corners, mid to fast corners, and I countered it with decreasing the caster, which affects that part, mostly the slow speed, because caster is parallel with how much steering input you give, and at low speed you give more steering input, you lift the in the rear tire more, and it's more effective there that way. Like it's not a flat effect, it's more like there's a big ramp up compared to the steering input, so you can counter a few things with a few other things and just play around. That's how setups work. But first you have to know what you can do, how you can do, and what you want. That's very important. Like, you have to understand what the car does, what it lacks, and what you want out from it. I usually aim for a setup which is decently active under braking. I think I got that thing from that driving the Porsche a lot. I want to be it, the race setups I'm talking about these, I want to be it just a tiny bit understeery off throttle. So basically you can, after you rotated the car with trail braking, and if it's a high to mid speed corner, you coast and turn the wheel, you cannot do stupid things like spin. And what I will like is when I press the throttle out of those coasting phase, the car keeps the sort of same trajectory as you have during coasting. So it's like you can, in that way I can at least feel when I rotated the car enough with coasting or braking, and start to be on the throttle and hit the exit mark. And it looks like many people like this way too, so that's why a few people use my setups. Well, I have over 2,000 subscribers now, so there should be something good in it. Also, since it's a more traditional setup in a way that it does not do much exploits except the rear bump stop thingy, it does react to conventional setup changes, like someone wants more rotation or less rotation. I usually say start with the rake, because that's the part where which has less consequences. And it's quite easy to customize for yourself. At least that's what I say from the feedback I get. And that it is easy to push it to the limit. That's because the tiny bit of understeer. But due to this, I have to make very customized setup for every track, because that understeer have to be customized for that track. There's no base setup for this. I'm glad you like them and you have success with them. Yeah, using a too advanced setup for many drivers is just not the way. I mean, I'm not exactly slow. I don't consider myself a fast driver. I just make setups which are very fitting for myself, so I can be a decent pace with them. But for example, probably if I have to drive a very aggressive setup, my inputs were just too harsh for them. I could probably manage the braking part, but I will spin on the exit and mid-turn due to the not limited rotation. But I'm fine with it because I'm not an alien, and for racing having this limit helps. Okay. Now I got used to the car. First I check the Motec. How much of the rear tire we are eating, because it was a bit bumpy in a few places, which I did not like. Yes, we are eating into the rear a lot. So I will counter that with giving back the bump stop range, stiffening up the rate, and using more V-rate at the rear. This will probably affect that I will have too much dynamic rake, but first I won't touch that part. Sorry, I have to scratch my nose. Won't touch that part yet. Let's see. Not UI, thank you. Mr. Script. I did this because I wanted more out of corner, mid to high speed rotation. But more stability due to not hitting the rear bottom out. Also some off-throttle rotation does help, but the braking is already very, not scary but active. Just a hair under it scary. So this way I think I can balance out these things a bit. But my main issue was that I could feel I'm bottoming out with 4 bump stops range. The hard bottom out issue. Braking is still not scary, that's good. Bumps are much better, I think. Exit is a bit tail happy, but that's fine. It's a Q setup. We can kill the tires in one lap, doesn't matter. Okay, high speed is still not Beamer good, but that car is crazy good under high speed. rotation. I still have some mid corner under steer, more than I would like. I could still try 8 wing and a tiny bit less rake, see how deadly it is. Because my only issue with the car now is high speed on throttle, so flat out cornering. But I'm not sure that can be significantly improved without sacrificing too much everywhere else. So, all car has limitations. Hello, Tommy. Are you Hungarian, maybe? Because Tommy is a Hungarian for Thomas. Well, thank you. I usually try to drive smoothly. That's the way to go for ACC. But there's always a certain limit how smooth you can be on Nordshleife. This track is hard. And we have a lot of front pressure that probably does not help. A lot of understeer there. Hello, Marton. Or Tamás. Nice to see Hungarians here. Usually in my online life, like when I played MMOs or Call of Duty 2 back then, I did not publicize my nationality because in those games the community is, the Hungarian community always were a bit toxic, but in sim racing, the whole community itself and my experience with the Hungarian ones are much better. So I would say I'm positively disappointed or appointed, whatever. How can I say that in English? Kellemesen csalódtam. So I'm more happy to meet Hungarians here in this community. Consider that a compliment for Hungarians. A lot of understeer. I need much more rotation under or without throttle. And on throttle, so I will crank the hell out of the rear spring rate. Oh yeah. I think it's double-sided, like, well, not double-sided, that comes from two things. One is age, like most sim racers are at least mid-20s, because it's a very steep learning curve. You can just jump in and be good. Also, you need gear, which you don't have money while you are in school for most of the kids. And the other hand is we are not killing each other. So why it's competition, it's not deadly competition. Oh yeah, this car is much faster. I will read your comment in a minute, so. Yes, definitely. I plan to do it more seriously this time. In last season, I jumped in why I was in a divorce, basically, and moving and things like that. Also, I'm in university, etc., etc. So and the usual things. So super busy, and I missed a lot of races. Either due to not having the mentality, or I was tired, or I was moving, whatever. So I did not took it seriously. My initial plan for season 10 was to, since we had a lot of plat guy, and initially it was like we stay in the same split, I wanted to take the mentally and just race for the mid of the plat. But since it looks like I will be punished into the diamond split, I am going to keep the Aston because I'm fast and comfortable with it, and basically I love it. It's a very good car, and try to be more competitive in the diamond split mid. I will see. We will have a lot of very fast guys as far as I know joining now for season 10. Did you? I think we never spoke on Discord. You never joined. It would be funny to scare the other ERA members with Hungarian language. By the way, it's like two aliens talking. Not alien drivers, but aliens. Wow, it rotated awesomely there. I love this car. Probably I have to decrease the rake a bit. Well, I don't know. Front bump rate, my dampers, because it's stiffening up the rear. It will be scary under braking, or just increase brake bias, but it's just too easy solution. There's no advantages, just disadvantages. Yeah, I need definitely more control for rotation, so apart from stiffening the rear, I will give it back to bump stop rate, see how bumpy it is, because the veer rate will help keeping it up in the range. Probably we won't hit the hard bottoming out that much. That's fine, but we are on the voice chat a lot, not just at racing. Oh, there's a 6 to 8 guys who are really active, socialized, active. That's how I meant not joining on the voice chat. I usually mute the Discord too, or go to a separate channel during racing too. Although I'm a bit better in talking while driving, since I do these streams. Which car do you choose for Season 10? What was that? Did I double shifted? I have shift the bounce. Now I'm in the wrong way. And the car has 0 low to mid RPM range torque. That's one way to screw up a good lap. 992. You have big balls. I was thinking about the 992, but the blood diamond thing really just made me think between Aston and M4. I would not want to drive the cheat cars, so shitbox and mecha aero. But I'm more comfortable with the Aston. My only issue with this car basically is the starts. Otherwise it's a great car.
Well done, mate.
We need 3 less front pressure. Oh yeah, I really hope the Mustang will be not overpowered, so people won't flock to it, but will be a viable option. Okay, more V-rate at the rear, less bump stop, and I just increased the brake bias and keep the rake. Probably it will be scary. Also, I check the dampers. By the way, it's not much difference between 8 and 4 rear bump stop. You can see it's not eating that less into the range. So 6 should be perfectly fine. And the dampers are under dampened at the front a lot. That's weird. Probably because we have higher V rate at the rear. But I will try to dampen it a bit more. We don't have much leeway, like that much. The Aston, weakness, definitely low to mid-range RPM range power, so it's really bad at starts. Like, let me show you. At the start, you go with 70 kph. Just listen how low the car is in the range while doing that. I'm brake boosting, so max throttle, and just barely have to give like 40% brake, and when I start like 70 go, it takes a lot of time to pick up. That's a huge disadvantage. Advantage is it's front engined, which makes it nice for trail braking, rotating it under trail braking, and good for stability. It has mediocre aero. The front is not as grippy as the M4 under high speed, so that's definitely not a weakness. I would say it's mediocre. Advantage, really good tire life. It's really good on tires, both front and rear. It's fairly agile for a front engine car. Disadvantage is, with my setups, I ran into the issue that I cannot decrease the brake bias more, because I keep the V-rates soft, and with not much V-rate at the rear, it won't dive and won't lighten up the rear wheel, so it has a lot of rear wheel traction under braking. Even with very high rakes, the car runs high rake, like 90 to 20-25 mil on a race setup is not even extreme. Since I like to drive without high V-rate at the rear and use the bump stops to not let the car squat too much under acceleration, I run into the issue of not having enough brake bias window. Like, I would like to drive like 55, but it doesn't go under 57. It's decent over curbs, not great, but like 8 out of 10. And it sounds also very good to drive. And the traction control is very good. Like TC123 is enough. It can be drivable with TC0 for not alien but very good drivers because of the turbo lag. It's not like an instant power when you press the accelerator. Oh yeah, the 992 is exciting. Sound, driving, everything. I made the 992 for half a year when it came out. I learned a lot. Basically, though the 992 setups made this channel, like, I won't say famous, but viable. That's one of the backbone of this channel. So I thank a lot for that car. I still love to drive it. I just know it's pace to how hard to drive comparison or ratio is not good enough for me, and the rear tire degradation is an issue for me since I am doing this era 60 and 90 minute races. For sprints it's awesome, I love it. Also the front fuel issue is hard for long runs. The Aston is fairly consistent over the whole fuel load. I think the worst is the Audi. The Audi just does weird things. And the second worst is the 992. Oh, and I also love the thump sound when you shift, like thump. Listen, thump. That's fun. Never gets boring. Visibility is good, by the way. I did not mention that in the M4 that VR visibility, like rear view mirrors and cameras, is great. This one too. Okay, it can take the corner flat out now, even with medium bed approach. It's a bit more agile in the off-throttle parts, so stiffening helped. Oh, another advantage of the Aston is straight line speed. It's a rocket. Like 280 something here. Although Nords are a bit outliner due to the physically smaller rear wing and front splitters. So it would not do that pace with 9 being on another track, of course. Okay, it's a bit more happy to turn now. So I decrease the front toe. That will increase our speed even more in the straights. Not much, we already have a lot, but still everything is something. By the way, which split are you on, Martin and ERA? I did not participate in the last few races, so I don't remember who's that. Just realized I said Martin with English accent, like how other guys say it in the array. Sorry, Martin or Marton. I don't know how they do something like that. That's very nice. And we just did not make much on the track somehow. But I was skipping a lot of races, so that's my excuse. And did you stay in plat or you will be in the alien split? Oops. I don't know. I think it will be announced, like officially, this Saturday, Sunday, when we will have that big meeting. But as far as I remember, if you are 100.5%, you will be alien split, and if you are between 105 and 101, you will be plat or something like that. So they did not push down the other classes to lower percentage, but split the top split to two parts, because we have a lot of new participants which are very fast. My issue is I don't think I belong there, but since the races I was participating I did good lap times. Yep, my data is a bit low data and a good part of it. Never mind. Can only learn to swim while in the deep water. Oh, it corners there very, very nicely. And there too. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oops. That rear wing was in the grass. A bit too much. Loaded rear tires in the grass is not a good thing. Where's my mouse? Okay. Zips. Goodbye. Okay. My hands disappeared. Give me my... Yes, thank you. bit nauseating having no hands in VR. Not fun. Oh yeah, North is scary. Especially with the quali setup in VR. But the most scary experience I had in ACC is driving the Bentley on Mount Panorama, because at the top of the hill, at the right hand side drive, you are almost licking the barriers. Not too comfortable. By the way, if you stay in plat, you will have great fights with Christoph, because somehow our plat winner will stay in plat. I'm off base from the aliens too, by the way. I just happened to race only tracks where I was okay. Never mind. I have to accept the challenge. Just a bit sad that I cannot drive the boat. What's going on? I'm on a used tire or what? You can use that much? What? Something is weird. Or I'm just getting tired. By the way, that was weird. I did not got a lap invalidation while almost being off track completely. Lose a crap load of space now. More than with the GP track. By the way, Christoph is going to use the Honda, the plat. So you two will have the tire shredding competition there. Like, who can eat the rear tires faster? Yeah, see you later, Martin. Thanks for joining in. The car is fast now. Just have to learn to drive. The setup is right. Still stable enough, yet very, very fast. I need more high speed on throttle rotation.
Well done, mate. Russell.
Okay. So one less and a bit more. Yep. So I have to clean up this mess. I keep the last two because they were good, and I will try one less rake and more V8. Oh, and we need symmetric bump stops. Almost take that corner flat out. Too much cover. It is definitely much scarier there. But not unmanageable. You just have to anticipate some oversteer. That's not the fastest way down. That was not a slow and fast out. I hope my sub-10 time not going to be screwed on that one corner. Turn, you pig! Alright, I'm going in balls deep with the last two corners. Death or glory? There's no way between. That is glory. I hope. god, almost. The last corner was blurry. Too much. I love this car. Okay, survive the next corner. I'm the left-hander. Yep, if I don't push it that hard, it's easier to survive it. Wrong gear. Never mind. Not much loss there. Oh, here again. Maybe I'll try TC1. Sorry, I'm just adjusting the headset a bit because it's wasn't completely sharp. How much I wanted to gain there. I won't rest until I can go sub 10. Really screwing up now everything. Like I cannot pass the G by. I should try to not try to do it that much. I'm pushing it to instead of being smooth. That's what I wanted to say. God's sake, why am I screwing it up? And where's my wheel? Oh, bit late. I think I'm just lower with TC1. That's weird. Hey Sebastian, I'm glad you like the 992 pork with my setup. I definitely did enjoy making that setup and driving the car here. So, I approve, or agree, how would I say. But if you want the most fun, try the Jag. This is SimHub with an extension. I don't know the name. I should write down because a lot of people are asking it. But if you download SimHub and also search for SimHub overlay, it will be somewhere at the top of Google searches, definitely, because it's a very big overlay pack. SimHub is a great software by default anyway, also. Too eager there. Not lost much time though. I will also try to decrease my front tire pressures. Because they are still way too high. Thank you, Sebastian. I'm trying to. A few eternity later, I will have a subtunnel. was scary. Okay. Oh, we are going mad. When that mad, it unplug my USB. I'm going to take a short break, like 5 minutes, and follow it from there. So, be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the short break, but I definitely needed that. And back to business. Just reset the VR positioning. We'll start. Much better. And now just 160 something corners left. Well, now my delta is gone. I think. Never mind.
Green light, give it all you can.
That won't help the lap time. Or at least I should finish a otherwise proper lap and have a delta. God, why? I'm not good at hot lapping. Never been good. For God's sake, why the wheels start to turn when I go back to the garage? It's very, very annoying. And unplugs my USB. I will also try to get rid of that bumpiness this way. Quali no. Basically quali is hot lapping. Racing wise I am consistent and not overdriving the car, so I can drive nicely in a race pace for long times, but I have to practice the racecraft part of racing. So I am decent at driving under the limit just a bit consistently. Which is the solo part of racing. And I have to practice the not solo part of racing a lot. The issue is the margin for things in the plot in ERA is very thin. So my base puts me up to very experienced fast guys. It's very hard to race against them. They don't make much errors. Oh, whoa. Okay. That's not the way to go. Too much rake. Back to the proven good setup. By the way, I would probably excel the most in endurance racing. But that takes a lot of time, so that's my issue with that. But we will see at Saturday. Although we will be a seriously underpaced car. Too eager. Way too eager. Never mind, I finished the lap to have that. Okay, we have a delta. Have to shave off more than 3 seconds. Almost died. Nope. That's not a good line. Just a small mistake and I'm screwed. Can't understand how few people can drive this track sub 10 consistently. Just insane. Why the hell my wheel starts to rotate like mad when I go back to the garage? That's annoying. Don't do that, ACC, please. And again, wheel goes mad. I brake too late. I'm doing stupid things. Not good. Okay. I think that's what I couldn't do today. I did a 10 flat, many 10 something. But I'm just getting tired and doing stupid things now, so thanks for joining in. Hopefully you learned something in the setup part and not suffered too much in the driving part. And have a nice evening.